million a year just based on reduction in customer retention. And so we'll go back over here and we'll say, okay, those are our numbers. And now we'll go through the whole justification that we get from the CMO, and the CMO says we can justify about $4 million over a 5-year period of time just due to customer retention. And then we take those numbers and we go see the COO. And the COO may have another way that he wants to calculate what the impact of reducing the hold time is going to be in terms of increased customer retention and increased sales. And that may be another number, and who cares what it is. And we take all of these numbers with all of these various rationale into the CFO, and we say to the CFO, okay, what is it that you're going to feel comfortable with? I mean, do you like IT's estimate, or do you like marketing's estimate, or do you like ops estimate, or is there something else that you would like to do? Well, if this is a normal CFO, she's just going to take the smallest number and divide by 2 or 3 or something. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. After all, the CFO is the customer that we're building the ROI analysis for anyway. The CFO is the one that we have to convince to write the check. So whatever number the CFO wants to put on that is the right number. And then left as an exercise, a homework exercise to the student, if you'll take a look at our anticipated benefits, we've just talked about a way to get a number for this one, increased customer retention. What about increased sales from all of our other customers because they're happier? What's that going to look like? Well, the same sort of process would apply, and we will leave that to your imagination and your ingenuity on the homework. Then you would combine the intangible numbers together along with the tangible benefits over 5 years, and that becomes the B, if you will, in your equation. So for this particular exercise, just to close the loop on this, as we have said, the IRR is equal to total lifetime benefits over total lifetime costs raised to the 1 over the lifetime in years minus 1. And so basically what we're looking at here is, I don't know what your benefit numbers will come up to be, but typically students will come up with numbers in the 20 to 30 million for this exercise. Let's just go with 20 million. If we have 20 million benefit and the cost of this thing was 4.5 million, and the lifetime was 5 years, so that's raised to the 1/5 power minus 1. And if we go to the calculator now, we're going to put in 20 million divided by 4.5 million. Okay, and we're going to raise that number to the 1/5 or the 0.2 power. Okay, and then we subtract 1 from that. Okay, and we see that what we're left here with is about a 35% internal rate of return. Okay, and that then becomes the ROI estimate for the internal rate of return. Now, you also have to tag on to this the business case, which is not always going to be the financial analysis. Oftentimes the business case is made on the basis of which strategic business goals are not going to be accomplished or are going to be impacted if we don't build this system. That oftentimes is expressed qualitatively, and sometimes that will carry the decision. Then we also need to put on top of this post-deployment audit, post-project audit for the system. We need to plan ahead of time for what we're going to measure, when we're going to measure it, who is going to measure it, and then what we're going to do with that data when we collect it, who we're going to present that to. Oftentimes this is combined with a rubric ahead of time so that we say, all right, well, if we're seeing a $20 million or greater increase in profit, then if that's what we actually measure after the fact, then we consider that a complete success, and we may give that a green rating. If we're seeing something in the neighborhood of $5 to $20 million increase in profits, we may call that an orange rating or a partial success. And anything less than $5 million in profits would be considered a failure. And we wrap all that up ahead of time and take the whole thing into the CFO, and that's what we present to the CFO. So we have the business case, we have the ROI analysis, and we have the post-project audit plan, and that becomes the IT project's justification. And that's basically what we're looking for you to produce in your homework. So just read the homework requirement as stated, and produce that and send that by email into your primary instructor for the course. And